Okay, I want to talk to you guys about the most common bike fit issues that I see with cyclists who have neck pain or bike position, just kind of how their body is positioned on the bike. The first one is cyclists who lock their arms. So a lot of times what I'll see is cyclists either riding here or even here on the tops and their arms are locked, okay? And this can be due to a couple different bike fit issues, but their arms are locked nevertheless. So what this does is, instead of you absorbing kind of the ups and downs, the road feel, bumps of the bars through your elbows, because your elbows are supposed to be here in a relaxed position, what happens is then that gets transferred up to your shoulders. And so now your shoulders are the things that are kind of absorbing that. And when you do that, then your shoulders will kind of sneak up towards your ears. And in order for your shoulders to kind of sneak up towards your ears but not go all the way, then your neck muscles have to kick in more to be able to kind of absorb that, that motion from the bike. So that's the first thing. If you find yourself riding with locked elbows, then you need to change your position so that your elbows are more in a bent, relaxed position. The second thing I see is a rounded back. So what happens when you round your back is that your head will go down, which would then requires your neck will go down, which then requires your head to come up. So you're in this position here, the back is rounded. As you see, as the back rounds out, then the neck goes down, which then requires me to lift my head more, which requires more cervical extension, and that hurts the neck over time. Now this can again be caused by a couple of different issues. Sometimes it's somebody who's trying to relieve some saddle pressure from the front part of the groin. So what they'll do is they'll rock that pelvis back. When they rock the pelvis back to unload the groin, then the back goes with it, then the neck goes down, head comes up, okay? So instead of having a rounded back position, as much you want to basically have a position where your spine angle is straighter at an angle such as I'm showing you now. Instead of here, it needs to be here. And so when you go from here to here, then what you'll see is it sort of elongates the neck, and that brings the head up, and then you don't have to extend your head as much to be able to look down the road. So you're more in this position when you're riding, which your eyes are able to look up just a little bit easier as opposed to here when you're like that. The last thing I want to talk about is something that you can think about, especially on long rides. You will get some, sometimes there will be some fatigue in your shoulders that'll go up to your neck, and how to counteract that shoulders rising up towards your ear position is to actually work on contracting some of the muscles in your back, primarily your lat muscle, your latissimus dorsi here on the side. And so what you can do as you're in this position is think about what we would call depressing your shoulder blades or depressing the scapula. So you're here and just squeezing down. So it's just a squeeze down position, actually bringing the shoulder gently away from the ear. And when you do that, the muscles that raise the shoulder blade are the neck muscles. They're the antagonist to this. So in order for this to contract, these have to relax. And so you're here, just gentle squeeze. That helps to relax the neck muscles, and you won't have near as much fatigue into those neck muscles and near as much neck pain. So those are just a couple of tips on how to relieve some neck pain. Based on, with bike fitting, there's a lot that can go into that, saddle position, stem length, and things like that. But those are a couple quick things that you can check. Make sure your arms aren't locked, make sure your back's not rounded, and give yourself a little bit of shoulder blade depression when you ride, and see if that doesn't help with some of your neck pain.